Providence Television International, the game changer, taking you to the outer limits of television.
Welcome to the program Issues in the News on Providence Television International. I am Ugbebo Ikekwa. I would also be wishing you a happy new year. To discuss trending issues in the news with me is Dr. Emmanuel Egariva. You're welcome.
Well, thank you very much. It's a brand new year, brand new opportunities. And I guess this is the first time in the new year we're talking about your favorite program, Issues in the News. We've not had it for quite a long time, but I'm happy that we are back, and I hope you enjoy it. Yes, back to you.
And before we delve into the issues in the news, the CEO has something to tell us.
Well, today in history, I always like to talk about this, January 7th, 2026. But going back into history, we remember that on this day in 1927, the first transatlantic telephone service was established. I hope we can have that there. Yes, that's the old stuff. Yes, first transatlantic telephone service established between New York and London. And it was a big leap for telephony, for instance. So, but we are now talking about new opportunities, new formats in telephony. You can be in your closet in Benin. Now you are talking to somebody in New Zealand with ease, relative ease, that is. So the world is moving. But we thank God for the people, the inventors, Graham Bell, for instance, who discovered this. But that is the day in history, back in 1927. Now, on this day, January 7, 1999, a lot of people will not want to talk about this, quite frankly, particularly Americans. They will not want to remember this because on this day, President Bill Clinton, one of the greatest presidents that America has ever had, he has an impeachment trial underway based on perjury. Perjury is a legal term. It means lying on oath in the Monica Lewinsky scandal. We can have the picture out there. He had some rough rides with that pretty girl, Monica Lewinsky, and that almost ruined his presidency. Actually, he was just going to be propped for a third term as the president of the United States, something that had never happened. But this brought his presidency down. And I'm sure that you also remember the very inglorious hug, that's it over there, between Clinton and Lewinsky. Nobody wants to talk about this anymore, really. But it was put on trial. But luckily, he went off the hook, and he apologized to the whole country that he did something that was inappropriate. But that was President Clinton for you, a great guy, almost brought down by a young girl of about 21. So at that time, somebody you almost compared to a youth copper. For example. But that's what emotions can do sometimes, and we thank God that he went through all of that. However, that was on January 7th, 1999. That was when the impeachment trial began in the case of Lewinsky. Yes.
Coming to the Clinton issue, the issue of morals when it comes to governance.
Oh, yes, there must be serious morality in governance, for instance. It almost brought down his presidency.
Yes.
Yes, the American people were shocked that could happen to a man they loved so much. Clinton was well loved by everybody. What even angered the people of the United States was that he did whatever he did with Lewinsky on the same desk that was used by Abraham Lincoln, that was used by Jefferson, that was used by Reagan. That same desk in the White House, he desecrated it. And so that was the point that the Americans were particularly angry about. But they loved him and said, okay, yes, particularly because he apologized to the whole nation on national television that he did something appropriate. That's what our African leaders should be doing, really. Once you do something that is inappropriate, I think it's important that you must apologize, yes, and say, yes, all right, we've done this, we've done that. So let the good times roll again. And don't forget that his wife stood very much by him. His wife stood very much by him.
Yes.
And I remember what she told some journalists, that, look, you people are talking about my husband, the President of the United States. He's not a pope. Okay? So, but right inside their living quarters, it was a different ball game.
Exactly.
But she didn't wash his dirty linens in the public.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good womanhood for Hillary, for instance. And every woman should learn from that.
All right. Basically, there is this issue that we'll be looking at. Some few days ago, the United States went to Venezuela and took away the president of Venezuela. Let us look at that story. Maduro. UN says the U.S. airstrikes on Venezuela and seizure of the country's leader is a contravention of the fundamental principles of international law.
We're talking about empowerment. I mean, the willingness to go into Venezuela to pick up a leader of their country. What was the backup authority? All right? Apparently none. But you see, in international law, there is no morality.
Okay.
No, I mean, they believe that might is right. And particularly now that Trump is going to is planning to reestablish the United States as the policeman of the world. Okay? So he's doing things that are outrageous, doing things that are strange. But most of the people in Venezuela are happy.
Okay.
Yes, even though around the world there's been some relative outcry about this, but generally speaking, the Venezuelan people are happy. Happy because they believe that a despotic leader has been picked out, and taken somewhere else.
Okay.
So, but that's the issue. Fundamental rights. Yes, I mean it's part of the UN Charter, but are they following that? And the UN, incidentally, has come out very strongly to condemn the action of the United States. But who bothers about what the UN says these days? I mean, Israel does a lot of things, sometimes with impunity. Yes, and countries around the world, I mean, powerful countries, they want to annex what international relations we call expansionism, for instance. You remember the case of China and Taiwan.
Yes.
Even the war now going on between Russia and Ukraine, it's all about expansionism. Okay, that was once our territory. We want to take it back. Remember Crimea? Yeah. All right. So it's been on and on and on. It's just that it's less prevalent in the continent of Africa, but elsewhere it's all of that. I mean, it has to do with expansionism. Okay. On the one hand, what Trump has done in Nigeria is being applauded. You remember? It's been applauded, trying to take out the bandits and terrorists. But again, it's also an incursion. So it's a double-edged sword, really. I mean, if you look at it more potently. Okay. It's a double-edged sword. In some way, there could be a backlash. But in some other instances, the people are happy. For instance, I mean, I have not seen anybody who is not happy about what Trump has done in Nigeria, even though initially the authorities that were against it. But everybody is now saying America should come and pick out these bandits. Yeah. Okay? So, yes, the UN is right to have reacted the way it has done. Okay. But where does it lead us? As a matter of fact, the UN now has been described as a toothless bulldog. Okay? Because they make all kinds of pronouncements. And don't forget that the headquarters of the UN is in the United States. Yes. All right? So at the slightest opportunity, America will just say, oh, no, you move to Switzerland or somewhere else. And they won't want that. Okay? Because he who pays the piper dictates the tune. Remember when Trump came in, he pulled a Trump card. Now, telling organizations like the WHO and the rest, won't give you money again. So there was a withdrawal of interest. So, but that's what it is. But now let's look at Maduro, for example. Reports say that he has impoverished his people, even though he has the largest reserves of oil in the world. Yes. He has the largest reserves. That's a fact. But he has impoverished his people. In other words, the people are living in poverty in minutes of plenty. Okay? So something needed to break. And this was a golden opportunity. But the way he was captured was a bit outlandish. Yes, we are hearing that the U.S. forces went right into his bedroom
Exactly.
to take him out. Yes, and the format was, look, the people around him whom he trusted so much, or the people who betrayed him. Okay, and that's a lesson for many leaders. Yes, particularly despotic leaders. The people you trust so much might just be the people who take you in. All right, and it has happened to Maduro. Okay, what did America do? They bribed those people, or they influenced them, and they compromised their offices. They looked the other way while the American forces came in. There was no shootout, you remember?
Yeah, there was a shootout.
There was no shootout as such. You know, the helicopter just came, picked him up, and went straight to the United States. So
picked himself and the wife.
yes, and the wife in their bedroom. So the report says,
Yes.
in the bedroom, and that is outlandish. It has never happened. But they say, as the saying goes, what is good for the goose is also good for the gander.
Yes.
And where we are hoping that it will get justice, but I have my doubts.
Okay.
Yes, if the proceedings were to take place somewhere else outside the United States, you'll probably just, and look at it now, for instance, the International Criminal Court is there in The Hague.
Exactly.
Americans are not using that.
No.
They are not using that, and that is part of the United Nations, for instance, but they are not using that. They are using a court in New York.
In New York, yes.
United States. So what kind of justice do you expect from that kind of system?
And so this brings us to a whole lot of precedents, because what has just happened, if it should be allowed to go just like that, it means that a country like Russia can easily go to Uzbekistan or Czechoslovakia and say, no, your president, you're not doing well, you're not in favor, and then just pick him out like that.
They all do that. They all these superpowers, they do that with relative ease. Okay, it's just that there was some kind of resistance from Ukraine. Otherwise, they will have picked out the president, all right, and taken their country back, quote unquote. But remember Nicaragua, remember Noriega?
Yes.
In Nicaragua, in Central America, Reagan did it. But one thing peculiar, I must say this quickly for the interest of our viewers, the Republican presidents are, well, as the saying goes, they have warheads, you know. So what it means is that they like fighting.
Yes.
You know, they like the center stage in terms of violence and things like that. I mean, look at Bush, for instance. You remember the Gulf War, okay? So they are quite used to that. Unlike the Democrats who are liberal. They are not liberal. They want it by force, okay? And Trump is the man, the craziest of them all. You know, he does things that are terribly, terribly strange, as long as it's American interest. And in any case, when he was coming on board, what did he say? His sing song was America first. And that's what he's proving to the whole world. Yes.
But being America first, does that not give the American government the right to become a bully? Because we realize that presently, America is also threatening to invade Greenland.
Greenland is, well, partially into Denmark. All right. What I mean by that is they have their independence, but Denmark also controls the foreign policy, currency, defense, for instance. So you won't say it's total autonomy. But America wants it. Because if America wants a country, it means that something is there in that country that is very precious to the United States. I mean, they won't just want to take it if the place is empty.
Greenland is mineral rich.
Of course, yes, it is.
Yes.
It is. It's quite rich. But it's being governed, quote unquote, by Denmark.
Yes.
I would have suggested that they go into negotiations with Denmark and buy it over. Okay, because Russia sold, you remember, I think I have the records here. Yeah, Alaska, for instance, in what year? 1867. Yeah, they sold Alaska to United States. And Alaska is also very rich. So that kind of thing can still proceed, yeah, if they are willing. But to use force, I'm strongly against that. And the Danish Prime Minister has said quite clearly that if they go into Greenland, that will be the end of NATO.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because it's obvious that, yes, that's the lady there, that many countries in NATO will go against that, and that will lead into fragmentation and all sort of things. Because Denmark is a very strong ally to many countries in NATO.
Exactly.
Right, it's a very strong member of NATO, by the way. So that's what we are saying.
There are some schools of thought who are saying that this could lead to a full degeneration of law and order as regards international peace. that there could be an outbreak of war, because we know that China is a full ally of Venezuela. And when it comes to benefits that they get as regards Venezuelan oil, they are going down the drain with just what has happened these past few days. And they could decide to retaliate. Do you see this as a situation that could cause international tension?
Tension is already there. It's already there, but I hope it doesn't escalate into a world war, for instance. And don't forget that there are many weapons now that are waiting to be tested.
Yes.
So many weapons that are waiting to be tested, particularly by the United States. Remember what Trump said. I want to quote him, and I hope I quote him rightly, that what they are going to do in Nigeria, in taking out the bandits, they will do it like the way America would like to do it, and the way no other country can.
Yes.
He said that very clearly. Yes. The way no other country can. In other words, they have the capability to do all of these things. Okay? So, but we must look at it holistically. And that is where the United Nations comes in. If the United Nations is not a two-fledged bulldog, it should speak. And it should speak backed up by action. But most times, there are laws, the United Nations laws, the United Nations documentations are not backed by force. They have a force that is not a fighting force.
Yes.
Yes, but they have a peacekeeping force. When there's a crisis somewhere, they can send a peacekeeping force there. But to have a standing army, they don't have. Okay? So it will be difficult for them. But I hope that the whole world, and don't forget the United Nations is the government of the whole world.
Yes.
Yeah, it takes the government of the whole world, meaning that, yes, what it says should stand firm as a matter of law and principle. But what do we have these days? The might is right. Might
is right.
Is right.
And just before we leave this Maduro issue, some schools of thought have come out to say that the basic reason for the invasion is all about oil. If we look at what happened to Saddam Hussein and the case in Libya, there's a special interest, oil. No weapons of mass destruction were found.
They couldn't.
Yes, they didn't find any. Yes. And just some few hours ago, international papers and local papers, they've carried it, that Trump has openly declared interests, that about 50 million barrels of Venezuelan oil, that they have interest in that, for the benefit of Venezuelans and the United States. What's your take on this?
Whatever that means. No, honestly, whatever that means. Yes, there's an addendum to that. For the interest of Venezuela. I mean, if the statement has stopped at that, one will understand. But also for the interest of the United States. In other words, there's no free lunch. Okay? And that's why people are even saying that their incursion into Nigeria means that you have to pay for the missiles that they are using against the bandits.
The same oil undertone.
Yes. It's the same format. All right. So, but he has spoken out. I'm talking about Trump now. He has spoken out too openly. Yes. Those are not things that you say too openly. It's left for the whole world now to realize that, yes, there's an ulterior motive somewhere. Yes, granted that Maduro has been there for a large number of years and he has impoverished his people. That is not the reason why you should go in. Outside what he told the whole world. It's a drug baron, and things like that. He has cases to answer against his people and stuff like that. But suddenly we are seeing a new dimension to it now, which is oil.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yes.
And don't forget that he even has a brush with Colombia. Colombia is a next door neighbor to Venezuela.
Very, very true.
The same South America.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
So there's so much belligerence on the side of Trump. He wants it hot all the time. And he believes that nobody can stop him. But that's where the United Nations should play a major, major role. And I imagine that even Russia is strong enough to challenge Trump.
Exactly,
yes, in some direction. Even China, by the way. Yes. But in international relations, national interest first. Yes. Without minding whose house is God. Yes, national interest first. I mean, Nigeria went into the Republic of Benin the other day, you remember? Okay?
Yes.
Yes. And thankfully, President Tinubu said it was to move out those people who were planning a coup against a sitting government.
Yes.
But it went there. Yes. And those guys were moved away as quickly as possible. Right. So it's the same principle.
Okay.
It's the same principle. You go into a country And once you have your special interest, that your special interest must be well protected. National interest, not self-interest. National interest must be well protected. Republic of Benin has a common boundary with Nigeria.
Yes.
There should be a stoppage to that. And that's what President Tinubu said to all and sundry. That, look, we don't want this kind of thing to extend into Nigeria.
Exactly.
Okay? So, but that's part of what we are saying.
Well, all about leadership. And talking about leadership, in 2027, it is expected that there will be elections in Nigeria. Let us go to this next story, where we have Atiku rejects calls to step down from presidential race under the ADC.
Well, I feel sorry for the old man. I feel sorry because, I mean, the PDP is virtually gone now, by the way. Yes. When the problem started and everybody knew it, there was this ambience of wonderful relationship between him and the governor of the then governor of Delta State, Okowa.
Okowa, yes.
And that was the beginning of the problem of PDP. Today, PDP I think has about 5 governors, or thereabout. PDP is going. Is going, by the way, and he has left PDP. People are now saying that those same idiosyncrasies should not be brought into ADC. If I were him, really, I would give way to a much younger person. It's my personal opinion. I will give way to a much younger person because at 80 plus, age must take its toll, whether we like it or not. Age must take its toll, okay? And I would be, if I were in his shoes, I would be a father figure.
Okay.
Yes, play the role that will make you be the be-all, if possible, the be-all and end-all in the new coalition. And because if care is not taken, that's the thing that will further crumble the ADC. And it will give, of course, it will give APC a very wide edge.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. You remember Peter Obi just recently moved to the ADC.
Yes.
And so do you see a kind of a political tussle between both of them?
Because there's nobody backing down. Yeah, Atiku is not backing down. Obi is not backing down. Okay? We don't know now if other forces within the system will also come up before the end of the first quarter of this year. It's an unveiling kind of thing. I mean, things are happening on a daily basis. But by the time you get to March, they will move at a faster rate because it will just be about a year or a little over a year to election in 2027.
All right. Still on politics. Our next story. Wike draws battle line as APC leaders back Fubara for second term as governor of Rivers State.
I don't know what has become of Wike, honestly. Because he's caught in the middle now.
Yes.
He's caught in the middle. I mean, he's no longer getting favors from the federal government. He's no longer in charge in Rivers.
Yes.
Yes. And people are saying, I mean, in spite of everything, though, that, that was a good game plan by Fubara to have joined the APC.
Yes.
Because the APC has its umbrella over Wike in Rivers. Now, he has lost it. He has lost the command structure. And the commanding height really is such that whoever is the governor is the leader of the party.
Yes.
And they have said it that much. In fact, even the governors of APC have said it very clearly that Fubara is the leader of the party in Rivers. Meaning that in Rivers, Wike has lost out.
Yes.
Almost completely. At the federal level, yes, many national officers are telling Wike that he should resign as Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. And I think that the president is just waiting for the right moment to show him the way out. Because he has done a lot of things that many leaders will not tolerate. A lot. Many things that leaders will not tolerate.
Quite embarrassing.
Very ridiculous. Yes, quite ridiculous. And I think he knows it.
Yes.
But now he is what battle line is he drawing? Because they are telling him now, you come and join APC. He cannot join APC now because of what he has said before, that over his dead body.
Exactly.
Yeah, because people will remind him that this is the APC that, in any case, most politicians have no shame. He has said it time and time again. He said it time and time again, that no, he will never join APC. They will remind him about it.
Yes.
Yes. But the lacuna is that while he remained in PDP, he worked for APC. That's tolerable. Okay, I mean, in any case, when you are talking about a government of national unity, that can happen. You pick people from other parties to come and work with you. He was probably hiding under that guise. But his problem will come mainly from the fact that he's no longer wanted, even in the APC.
Exactly.
He's not wanted in the
wanted
APC.
in the APC. He's such a problem in the PDP.
Yeah, it's not a problem. And meanwhile, because he's loud in his utterances, he has thrown very terrible remarks at the APC, which is your benefactor.
Exactly.
You are a major beneficiary of the APC administration, rather than keep within limits. Yeah, he's beginning to talk out of sync. And the people are saying, no, you can't be doing that to a party in which you are serving, which makes sense, by the way. So he's caught between the devil and what they call it, the deep blue sea. So where does he go now? In fact, many people have projected that he's beginning to see the end of his political career. Yes, and it stares everybody in the face. Okay? So I don't know how he's going to wriggle out of it. I don't know. But if I were him, I'll probably just play along with Fubara. It cannot stop Fubara from going for the second term. Because don't forget, Fubara is in APC, and APC is at the center. With many more governors, I think about 30 now.
Yes.
30 governors.
Yes, so many governors, yes.
In APC.
In
Yes.
APC. That's
Okay.
true. Yeah.
So, but I think we'll reserve that for another day.
We'll reserve that for another day. But just still on this issue of godfatherism in politics, a situation where a governor who has left still thinks that he's in power because he's brought in his boy there. What do you say about this?
Well, it is strange. It is strange, and it doesn't even add up. It doesn't add up at all. Because, I mean, I was chief press secretary to the governor of the state here.
Yes.
And one thing, even at that my tender age, I knew that the buck stopped on the desk of the governor.
Yes.
Once you are the governor, that's where the buck stops. Okay? And I think that Wike did not realize that.
Okay.
You know, it's even worse for him now. Because if Ubara had remained in PDP, for instance, it could still have been kind of bravado to do one or two things. But now he's in APC, which is the ruling party at the federal level. Okay? So there are limitations as to the length he can go to subvert the authority of the governor in Rivers. Yes, and he knows it. He's just showing, unnecessary hype, as it were. He knows that he has lost the game. He has lost it completely. But if I were him, I'll quietly just resign, because they might disgrace him out of that office.
Well, as the game changer, we will definitely keep you updated on these issues. But just before we go, we'll take a look at our next story. Terrorists on rampage in Kwara, Katsina, Kaduna. Many abducted barely 4 days after terrorists killed over 40 persons in Niger State.
Now, what do we say of this? At the end of the incursion by the U.S. into Sokoto State, the terrorists have been emboldened. That's what it is. That's the picture they're showing us. They have been emboldened. Otherwise, that would have kept them in abeyance. But now they have been emboldened, going to Katsina, in Kaduna, and all of that. Probably spread into other areas. Meaning that the danger in this really is that America too will be emboldened to do more. Although we have been told by the U.S. congressman that
Riley.
Yes, that the Sokoto thing was just it was a preamble. Yes, and unfortunately for the terrorists, they can be taken out wherever they are with modern technology. And I wonder what people like Gumi will be saying now. On the one hand, he has said that, they are his friends, the terrorists. Only recently I said that, no, he tried to retract, all those things that he said.
Yes.
Okay? But, and this is a big but, with these killings going on, America obviously will not fold its hands to look at this mass slaughter of our people, regardless of religion. I'm not even talking about religion now, but mass slaughter of our people. 40 people killed in a single day in Niger. Okay? And that tells a lot. I mean, it speaks volumes of our defense system. And the chief of the Minister of Defense, luckily is a retired general, should be up on his game at the moment to ensure that this thing does not spread. That it does not spread. If it spreads into areas such as Nasarawa and the rest, we are in for trouble. Or Benue, for instance. I mean, remember, we carried this in our news the other day. The governor of, it was Wadwanka.
Okay, yes. Yes.
Who said that America should institute airstrikes in Plateau State.
Exactly.
Yes, Plateau and Benue.
And Benue, yes.
As a matter of fact, because these two states, they were carved out of the old Benue Plateau, by the way. So they have common boundaries and frontiers. So, but that's what it is. That's what it is. These are very testy times for the leadership of this country. Very testy times. And this is the beginning of the new year.
Yes.
All right? When we should be reeling with the delight of having stumbled across something very important, as important as the incursion into Sokoto by the United States. But now, I mean, tongues are wagging. What is the federal government doing?
Yes.
And what is the United States going to do? Yes, nobody knows. Might just wake up one day and some of these states have been reduced, not a rubble, have been reduced in terms of the bandits being taken out in large numbers, which will be good for the country anyway. Okay. But I just pray that there will be no collateral damage. Yes, that's my prayer.
Some schools of thought have been able to come out to say that such individuals who have come out noticeably to say that they are friends of terrorists and those who sponsor terrorism, they should not just be arraigned, they should be jailed. They should be jailed. Specific action should be taken against them. Are you of this point of view? Yes,
obviously. I mean, they are complicit. They are complicit. And we are talking about life. I mean, life is sacrosanct, by the way.
We're talking of the likes of Sheikh Gumi.
Yes. I mean, it's coming out to deny some of those things he said. But he has said it. I mean, the internet does not forget, as they often say. It does not forget. He has said some of those things, although he tried to delete some of those things that he said. But he said them, okay? So, but, yes, the U.S. has the capability to pick out individuals. Yes, they have the capability. I mean, it's by census, okay? And I've said it before on this station that all we need, talking about the armed forces of this country, is just intelligence network, which is what America is using now. Okay? Intelligence. That we should discourage the bandits or terrorists from striking, even before they hatch their plans. That's intelligence. Yes. Usually what we do is this fire brigade thing. Oh, they strike and we begin now to look around and to give, what do you call it now, to commiserate with the families of the victims. Too late, too bad. But we should take them out even at the point of hatching of those things. Yeah, that's what America is good at. Okay, you don't wait until they do their thing and cause extensive damage, because some of these damages are irredeemable anyway, irreversible, as a matter of fact. Yes.
Well, like I said earlier on, Providence Television International will keep you updated on all these events. But just before we go, the CEO has a parting shot.
The parting shot will be for our governments across the country. This is the dry season. Roads are bad. Many roads are bad. This is the time. Don't wait for the rainy season again. Okay? Thank God that the construction work going on Sapele Road here in Benin is still on, very much on. And I'm sure that by the end of the dry season, most of those things should have been finished. Okay? But I'm talking about roads outside of those states. Many of them are bad. Don't let us have abandoned projects. And then again, as the rains come in, you give an excuse that the rains are here. We have a period about 4 months, about 5 even, before the rains come in. This is the time for governments to work and do things that people can admire.
Thank you so much, sir. And so for you, a great viewer, I want to say once again, a wonderful new year, and please stay tuned.